This film focuses on getting ready for court and finding out about an initial dispute resolution hearing.
Let's look at your objectives and the court itself.
The key thing is to have clear what it is you're looking for. How realistic is it in relation to the stage of development of your child? So if you've got a baby, suddenly saying, I want the baby half a week, will not work. So you need to think, what is it I really want to achieve here? If you're in the family proceedings court, which is also known as the magistrates court, you should be sitting at a table. The magistrate's clerk is likely to be the person you see first of all, and they'll sit at the top of the table and you'll sit at one side of the table. If your case is before a district judge, you will go into the district judge's office, which looks often more like a courtroom, but you will sit down. At the moment, because of the situation we're in, these first appointments are being done on the telephone. Your initial appointment is an appointment to see if agreement can be reached, so there doesn't have to be any further involvement with the court. So you'll meet with either a magistrate's clerk, maybe the magistrates or a district judge, with the mother of the child, where you discuss possible solutions to the problem.
When planning to go to your initial hearing, I think it's really good to make sure that you've got all your paperwork and your documents with you. Make sure you've got them in a little folder or somewhere nice and safe. Make sure you know where you're going, and if you're having to use public transport, it's just those simple things. Make sure that you know the times of the buses, where you're going to, which court you're in, what time, if you're meeting anybody there. Making sure that you've got that arranged. So it's really thinking about, right, what time, where am I going and where am I meant to be, and making sure that you've got that ready and you're ready to go, and that will make you feel a little bit more calm and a little bit more positive as well.
Do a dummy run down to the building you've got to go to, so that removes, how do I get there, where am I going? Most court buildings you can actually go into as well. You don't need to have a hearing, they're public buildings. So you could go and have a little wander around the building, just familiarise yourself with the environment and the feel of the place. Obviously, because it's a public building, you will have to go through a search station before you go in. So empty your pockets of metal objects, the same as you would at an airport and other buildings like that. Don't take a drink in unless you're able to open it up and drink it in front of the security guards, otherwise they'll take it away from you. Don't take sharp objects with you because they'll remove those. So sometimes people have makeup implements and they'll get removed, hairspray, things like that. Court buildings often have wide corridors, but there's lots of people around to show you where you have to go. It's a bit like a big school really, with lots of corridors and side rooms. There are little rooms where you can go and sit down and talk to the people who come with you while you're waiting. And it might be that the mother's representative, if she's represented, might come and talk to you and say, look, how about if we do this, or what about that? And you can negotiate outside the door of the court. You sign in so they know you're there, and when it's your turn, they'll come and tell you. And if you're worried while you're waiting, thinking what's going on, the ushers behind the little desks will always be happy to tell you we're not quite ready yet, etc.
Be patient, that's the important thing. You will be seen. It's just that sometimes you'll be asked to attend for maybe 9:30, but it may be quite a long time before you get there. So you think about, I'm going to be there a long time. Phone, charger, water, paperwork.
To get to court, I had my Mackenzie friend. He was kind of like a taxi driver at the time because he would take us everywhere. But he managed to get there. We got there early, and just to make a good impression. And it helped because we'd seen the judge before we'd went into the court, and it must have made him realise that we were there and ready, and we were ready for what was coming up. And when he seen we in the court, he was talking about how he'd seen we were the only people there because we were there half an hour early. So it made a really good impression.
Making the right impression is really important. So let's have a look at how to behave.
And how to dress.
Sadly, court is a fairly formal place. I've seen people come to court in shorts, and I've seen the reaction of the person who's making the decision, or the people who are making the decision. But you've got to be comfortable. So, you know, if you do not wear a suit every day of the week, there's no need to wear a suit and a tie. But just think, do I look smart? Do I look am I comfortable? Do I look like I'm treating this process seriously?
Going into court, I was thinking about my appearance, and I wanted to make a good impression of myself, and I wanted to be smart, and I wanted to show myself that I was good and looking after myself properly, and that I was worth looking after a child. And I didn't want to put too much stress on myself by like how much I looked, so I just dressed up like casual, but not like I would just going around in the streets and stuff. And doing that really helped. It really helped with my confidence, because I felt like I was doing good. So for me, I felt stable going into the court, and I knew where I was, and I knew where I wanted to be. So I'd had that in mind of what I was going to do, what I was going to say, and I had my evidence and my proof, and I just done what I could, and I showed the judge, and he let us have my chance to be a dad.
You could have 2 or 3 hearings.
But if you hang in there and do what's asked of you,
Then the outcome can be positive.
The courts wanted me to prove that I was going to be a good dad by doing a parental course that would show them why I'm a reasonable dad and why I would be a good dad. But it took a while for me to build up all the evidence to prove that I was going to be good enough. And once I had the slips and everything done, they realised in the end that I was going to be good, so they decided to help. Always have a bit of hope. Even if you fall out with girlfriends and such, just know that you gave birth to that kid, so show your worth, be a good dad, don't give up.